Hey there, happy day 576 of What's She Up To Now. She, S-H-E, of course, I started this 576 days ago, and before I knew better, I made it all about me. So I said, What's she up to now? And I'm documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business, and the trials and the tribulations, because obviously at day 576, I have not reached my goal and objective, my original goal and objective. So I continue to document every day what I'm doing, what's working, what's not working, what's frustrating, what's my wins, my losses, my trials, my tribulations, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything usually gets summarized in this little bitty daily journal. And yesterday and the last couple of days, I mentioned that my sister and I have been picking out all of the floors, all the carpets, all the colors, everything for my old house as I moved. I've talked about my move for months now, and I've been working on it for years, or I've been procrastinating for, 9 years probably. I've been procrastinating. Finally did it, and now we're fixing up the house, and we decided that we're fixing it up, and we're making it really, really nice for the next people that live there. We want it perfect. So the ex-husband and his contractor friend said, all right, you two need to go pick out these things, pick out all the colors, pick out the flooring for all the different rooms in the house. And it's a pretty good size house. So it was a big project. So we got everything all picked out. And then last night, as I'm on my walk and coming home, my ex calls me and says, okay, I talked to the contractor friend, and he's like, no, don't like the tile you picked out. Don't like the wood floor you picked out for these reasons. And so they had another plan. So this morning I have to go out there I'm gonna take my daughter out and my ex, and we'll go over what the contractor said about the flooring choices and what our alternatives are, and what do we need to go and look for something different, yada, yada, yada. But it's all about changes and how do you react to changes. Now, I don't really care. I mean, I want it to look awesome, but do I care if we put a different floor in or not? I just want it to look really, really good and be beautiful for the next people. I don't necessarily, I'm not personally invested in the choices that we made. I think we made wonderful choices, and I was really excited about them. But if there's a challenge or a problem with one of those choices, I'm perfectly okay with changing that. So often in the past, and we get locked, me personally, and all of us as human beings, we get locked into a certain way of doing things, a certain way of thinking, a certain set of beliefs. And whenever we need to change anything, we as human beings resist change. It's kind of like we resist, there's things that are inevitable in our lives, right? Death is inevitable. We're all going to die someday. Some of us have already practiced that, but we're all going to die. It's inevitable. There's nothing we can do about it. Every one of us, the bodies that we're in are going to expire and wear out or be damaged in some way, and we're not going to be able to occupy them anymore. It's kind of like the alien futuristic things in the movies that we see. Our bodies are not permanent. They're just a temporary housing for us. So we're going to die someday. But a lot of people spend so much time in their life worrying about dying that they don't actually live their life. The same is true of change. We spend so much time worrying about doubting, fearing change. But the fact is, change is inevitable. Change is happening all the time. It's always changing. We are never stagnant. We are never the same. We're never the same exact individual or human or person from moment to moment to moment to moment, because we are a culmination of all of the experiences and everything that's ever happened to us. So as much as we resist change, it's kind of funny because we're always changing. It's like trying to not think, right? And to not have thoughts or anything going on in your mind, trying to empty your mind. It's impossible, because our mind, our subconscious and our mind is always going. It has to always be operating, or our bodies wouldn't function. Yeah, we can focus our conscious mind and meditate, but our subconscious mind has to always be going. It has to be running all of the functions in our body, and it's miraculous that it does, or we would cease to exist and we would hit that dying thing sooner rather than later. But change and dying and things that we have no control over. Now, yeah, you can control when you're going to die a little bit by eating right, taking care of yourself, being healthy, living a good lifestyle. But the truth is, you can still get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? If you live where buses are. So we never know. I kind of believe that when it's your time, it's your time. You're going to go one way or another. I don't know if we all have come in with an expiration date. Who knows how that works? Only beings beyond us understand or know that. But why do we fight against things that are inevitable? Why do we have a tendency to fight against change, to fight against anything? Because the truth is, anything we're fighting against, we get more of in our life. So the more you resist change, the more changes are going to show up in your experience to teach you that change is inevitable. It's going to happen. So go with the flow of the change. You know, in the past, when I was younger, the change in the whole design and flooring things probably would have gotten me upset, and I would have been frustrated and upset and angry, or whatever series of emotions I would have gone through. But now, and I think when he called me, he thought I'd be upset, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care, because I picked out all the different, we picked out 3 different tiles, couple different wood floors, a bunch of different carpets, a bunch of different paint colors. So I liked them all. I didn't care about one significantly more than another. When we finally decided on the final choices that we thought we liked, I liked them. I was really happy with that. But I don't care if we change them. I mean, if we decide to go a different direction, I'm not personally invested in the outcome of that. I'm invested in, I want it to look gorgeous. I want the outcome to be a certain way. And we need to do that with our lives and our businesses. I want to live a happy life. I want to build X business. But the way I get there, the journey, the experiences, the steps I use to get there, I'm not invested in what those steps have to be. I know that they're going to change. They're going to be different based on what's going on in the economy, based on the environment, based on the people I meet, based on what I learned, the lessons I learned, and what I put into action, and what works and what doesn't work. So I have to be flexible in how I reach that end goal, but I don't want to be flexible in that end goal or vision. I want to pick that vision. I want to go for that vision, go for that goal, and then everything I do is moving me toward that. Now, will some of the things I do and the actions I take move me away from it? Yes, but then I know that they're not the right actions to take. And that's how we move and adjust, and we get to where we want to go. So we want to be invested in our ultimate vision, the ultimate thing things that we want to create in our life, because none of us just wants to create one thing. The things we want to have in our life. But how we get there, we want to be open and flexible and flowing, and not invested in each of the steps along the way. Now, there's big milestone steps we want to set to achieve along that way in that journey. But how we get to each of those milestone steps, that we want to be flexible with, and understand that change is inevitable and is going to happen as well. So how do you, on a scale of 1 to 10, react to change? Little changes, big changes. Some of us react differently to different changes in different areas of our life. I am really, and I wasn't this way when I was younger, but now I am pretty rooted in my personal health and fitness and routine. My morning routine, I like my morning routine. I stick with my morning routine. It's taken me a long time to get to what I like and what feels right for me. And now that I've gotten there, I'm continually improving it. But I'm pretty set in, this is what's working for me right now. And as I find things that help it improve, I'll incorporate them into my morning routine. But I need my morning routine for my physical health, my mental health, my energy level, things like that. And once we get habits and things like that, and we create them into processes or habits that work for us, I'm very protective of those things in that time. But other things, super duper flexible about. As far as the way I run my businesses, the way I run my life now, I didn't used to be very flexible. I used to be very regimented and very structured. Now I'm super open and super flexible. And part of that is because of the blessing of hanging out with my 4-year-old granddaughter. I had to take what I was doing and say, okay, I still want to do these pieces of it, but how I go about doing those is going to be different, because during the day, 5 days a week, and changing soon again, because she's going to 4K school, so it'll only be like half a day. But from February to now, I've been watching her during the week, during Monday through Friday. So I've had to structure and change again, the way and when, not the way necessarily, not the way really at all, but when I actually do things for my business. I still do take some coaching calls and do some consulting and do some work when I'm with her, when she's present, but she reminds me that I am her number one, or she is my number one priority when I am with her. So she makes sure she keeps me honest about working not too much when I'm with her. Grandma, you're working too much. She'll tell me, she'll tap me on the shoulder. Grandma, you're working too much. Grandma, you're talking too long. And so she keeps me honest and keeps me on track. But I had to be willing to change the way I was doing things and the timing I was doing things in order to do something that was of higher priority to me in the overall scheme of my life. I've realized that people, and especially the people we love and care about, are way more important than things and building a business. And we can still build a business and still love our people. And that we need to be present in whatever activity it is that we're doing. I spent most of my children's lives not being present. And I look back on that and I think, there's nothing I can do to change that. I would regret it if regret was a big thing for me, but it's not, because I know there's nothing I can do to change that. But I do wish, as most people do that work too much, that I had been more present when I was with them, when we were on fishing trips, camping trips, at their ball games, everything. I was always working while I was there, which meant I wasn't really 100% there being present for them. And I do wish I'd been better at that in my youth. But again, we do the best we can with what we've got at the time. And as we know better, we do better. So change. How do you, on a scale of 1 to 10, react to change, and change in different areas of your life? Like I said, health changes in my physical, mental health routines. I am not very open to those. No, that's not true. I'm open to continuously improving those, but once I have made something a habit, I don't let myself off the hook and not do that habit. For example, I exercise every single day. I've got physical challenges and have had since my 20s with inflammation and arthritis and things like that. Now, I've not been diagnosed. The doctors could never figure out what it was. So I don't self-diagnose and say, oh, I have arthritis, I can't do anything. I say I need to move every day for my physical health, my mental health, and my well-being. So every day I need to do some physical activity. I need to walk. I need to get on a piece of equipment. I need to go out in nature. I need to do something. Mostly, I need to keep moving. I have to move my joints and move my body because it makes me feel better and gives me energy and helps me to exist. I am very committed to that, and I won't miss that unless I'm in bed because I can't get out of bed, or I'm sick or something, which I don't get sick very often anymore because I do pay attention to my health. I do something every single day. Are there days when I don't want to? Yes. Are there days when I absolutely positively don't want to? Yes. But even though I hurt, I know that I'll feel better if I do it. So I might start doing it and it hurts more and I really want to quit and not do it. But I know that if I keep pushing through, at some point, it will start to feel better. And so every day I know I need to do that. I am super protective of that. And I don't let myself off the hook about it. Since 2010, I don't let myself off the hook about that. Other things I let myself off the hook about. And this is hard for me. I was going to do, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, I was going to start a new challenge for myself and my group on Monday. And I wasn't ready to do it. I didn't do it. I almost always keep my commitments to myself because I know how important that is. If we tell ourselves we're going to do something, we can lie to other people, we can fool other people, we can make reasons and excuses that everyone will buy, but we still know that we didn't keep our word to ourselves. And instead I'm doing someone else's challenge instead of my own. But that ended up being a good decision and a good choice. I didn't really know it at the time. I just knew I felt like I should do that. And now because I'm doing that, it's led to another opportunity and a better opportunity than what I was going to do with that challenge. So it's kind of a win-win. And it's interesting that if we're open to it and flexible and we're open to change, better possibilities come along than we could possibly have planned on our own if we're open and willing to have changes come. So maybe this one change with the house will actually end up looking way better than what we thought we had planned. I like to be open-minded and think that that's true. I like to think that the universe is conspiring for us to make our lives better, not make our lives worse. people have different philosophies. It's the whole glass half empty, glass half full mentality, you know, positive or negative. And I don't think everybody is positive or negative. I think we're all positive and negative about different things and different aspects of our life. And that's just the way it is. So actually working on the One Funnel Away Challenge, day 6 today. Haven't done it yet, but I will. Working on the house, working on my move, working on another project that I'm going to remain nameless for right now till I ferret it out and I let you know exactly what I want it to be and how it's going to shape out. But I got a really cool idea the other day and I want to implement it, but I want to implement it in a way that feels right for everybody. So that's it. That's all I've got today. Go out, make it an awesome day. It is Saturday in my neck of the woods, so I'm doing a lot of, you know, personal projects, not business projects. That's the way it is. We need to, I don't believe in balance. I've mentioned that, but we have to pay attention to a little bit of each area of our life, or that area of our life will rear its ugly head and make us pay attention to it. That involves every area of our life. You know, there's 7 main areas of our lives that I consider: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, what we're contributing into the world, and our, I guess physical is health. Emotional. We have to pay attention to all those areas of our life at least a little bit, or they will get our attention in terms of health. If we don't pay attention to our health, and I'm a huge example of that, it will shut us down. It will make sure we pay attention to it. So we have to take care of our physical and mental well-being. And we have to take care of the other areas of our life too, so we can have a good life. All right. I will be with you tomorrow. Have an absolutely amazing day. Bye. Take care.